Okay, I am finally back on YouTube. I had a nice break on vacation. I haven't ever really taken this long of a YouTube break before. I don't even think since I've started my channel, but I have been so busy with coaching. And then we went out of town to Florida Universal Studios and I did not have stuff ready and I wasn't about to stress myself out and make a bunch of videos beforehand. So hopefully you guys understand it was a really nice break and it was like refreshing. I did still end up putting out some drafts and listings while I was at the hotel in the morning before like everybody else woke up, but I didn't do things regularly like I have in the past. So I am going to be out of town a few times in the next month or so, or month and a half, with my volleyball team. So I'm hoping to build up my draft bank so that I can continue that. That being said, this is a what sold video. If you're new here, thank you for coming to check me out. My name is Heather and I am a full-time reseller. Before we get into this video, I'm going to talk about the Poshmark automation service that I use, if I can speak. And I'm going to show you what it can do because this definitely saved me when I was on a vacation. So Prime Lister has all of these different automations that you can do. You can do shares, community share, relist, offers to likers, party share, return follow, follow new closets. I really like it because this does everything for me and I don't have to be on my phone. They did do an update recently where you can choose how much of an offer that you want to send out based on how old it is. So I really like that because my newer items, I might not want to do 20 to 25% off. So I have that set up as well. So lots of different things you can do on Prime Lister. It'll show you your activity here. This is how many shares that they've had, offers to likers they've sent today, and return follow. So you can kind of customize it however you want. If you guys want to try it out with a discount for your first month, please use the code down below in the description. It's going to be right at the top and you guys can try it out. Let me know how you like it. I've had a lot of people that tell me they have switched it to Prime Lister and they love it and have really good success. So let's get right into the what sold video. I still haven't figured out how to keep myself on the screen instead of having to keep popping myself back up. So maybe that's something I need to learn. Okay. Depop. I'm going to go on Depop first. These are going to be sales from September 13th to today, the 20th. First up, I sold this Talbot's blazer for around $40. It was new with tags in a size 22 petite, and it was a red plaid blazer. It did retail for $209. I listed it for $75 and went ahead and accepted that offer of $49, I think. $50.80, that's what it says. But this says $39. Okay, I think that's what I earn. Okay, next up, I sold this sweater, which is an Escada sweater. This is a navy blue wool sweater. Excuse me. Kind of like 80s, 90s vibes. I've had this for a really long time. It had a lot of pilling. And so it wasn't really anything that exciting. That sold for $23. Next up, I sold these pair of shoes. These sold for $48. Okay. Stay here. I'm getting my water. I can't do this video without it. I'll be right back. I usually bring this with me, but I wasn't very prepared today. And I just got done eating almonds, so my mouth's very dry. Everlane shoes sold for $48. These were a pair of like new in a size 10.5 black leather loafers. If you watched one of my recent videos, I thought, should I keep these because this is my shoe size, but this is not my style. So I did decide to sell them. Next up, I sold these pair of jeans. These are a pair of Goldie jeans and they sold for $96. So that is insane. I got a couple pairs of Goldie jeans recently. One pair I paid, I think, $24 at a Plato's Closet. So it might have been these ones. They were the 90s mid-rise straight crop, listed for $120, got an offer of $96, which obviously is amazing. So definitely be on the lookout for a Goldie jeans. Not all styles sell the same, so make sure that you are looking up your exact style. I also sold this vintage Disney shirt for $20. I do like to pick up vintage Disney, even though sometimes it doesn't sell for very much. Maybe I should quit doing that for my business, but it was very cute. 25th anniversary, Fantasia Mickey popping out there. It was from Disney catalog, size medium. So that's about pretty normal for the vintage Disney of what I had that sale for. And then I sold these pair of pants. These are a pair of Beyond Yoga, size medium, gray, crop capri leggings. I've been doing okay with this brand. Not the best, not the worst. They're sold for $18. And then I sold one more item is a pair of boots for $37. This was the brand Soft, Sofft. I don't pick up this brand all the time, but I felt like the style of this boot was very cute and trendy. So I went ahead and grabbed them. They were a women's size 7. So a really nice sale there at $37. Next up, we have Mercari. I don't think I hardly have any sales on Mercari. I recently watched Becky Park's interview with some guy that works for Mercari for marketing or something, but it was like nothing much was said. I'm like, how can we actually make sales in this pathetic platform? Anyway, still make some sales, so it's better than nothing. I sold this men's Viore jacket for $60. This was a men's size small, teal jacket, Viore. There is the V. I did pay up for this, so I decided just to sell it myself instead of giving it to my brother. And that is literally it. Next, we are going to go on Poshmark. This might be a shorter video. My Poshmark sales normally are really, really good, but this past week, they have been crap, so I don't know what's going on. Let me know in the comments down below, how has Poshmark been for you this past week of September 13th through the 20th? Part of me is like, okay, is it because when I was on vacation, I wasn't putting out daily listings every single day? Or is it just bad for everybody? So let me know your experience, what's been going on with you, and we'll see if we can have any kind of similarities or figure out what's going on. Hopefully it picks up soon. I sold these Spring Step sandals today for $25. These were a pair of size 10 floral embroidered kind of artsy shoes. I think I listed them for $35, and I went ahead and accepted an offer of $25. Next up is a pair of Democracy jeans in a size 8. These were a pair of red Ab Technology high-rise skinny. I have been passing on the smaller sizes for Democracy, unless they're like a super, super trendy style, but the colored skinny jeans in a smaller size just wasn't that desirable. So I only sold those for $9. Next up was a Vineyard Vines shirt that sold for $31. This wasn't a size extra large. It was a white cotton silk blend, so excellent fabric content. So $31, this was an offer that my Prime lister sent out because I had it listed for $35, so they sent out 10%. Before that, I had it on 20%, which would have been $28, so I am earning a little bit more. So I'm happy about that, but I'm curious to see that also, is that a reason for slower sales? Because I'm not sending 20% offers right away, I'm only sending 10. So sometimes you just kind of have to do some experiments, I feel like. Next up is this Reese top. This is a new with tags Reese size 2, green, kind of satiny looking tank top, and it sold for $28. It definitely retailed for more than that, but it doesn't have a great resale value. Next up was this Calvin Klein dress. I never pick up Calvin Klein, but I got this because it was a new with tags wrap dress in a size 10, and it was like a larger size. It retailed for $139, and it actually sold within a few weeks. I thought it would be a good dress for like the fall with like the darker colors. So it sold pretty quickly for $40, so that is great. Here's a pair of Democracy pants that sold for $24. These ones were a size 8, cargo, straight leg. So the cargo, I think, helped them sell a little bit better because that is more of a desirable style, especially in the smaller sizes instead of skinny. After that, I sold this All Saints bag on September 14th. This was a leather metallic, kind of like a belt bag. I got this on a clearance rack at a consignment store. Sold it for $45, so I am really happy with that sale. I sold these Abercrombie & Fitch jeans in a size 26. These were the 90s straight ultra high-rise curve love. They sold for $21. Some of the offers that I took were lower than I normally would just because the sales were so bad and I still need to make some money. I sold these Allegria shoes for $31. These were called the Chloe Ella shoes. They were kind of a Mary Jane style with that strap over the top. Very similar to some Danskos that I have sold before. So $31 on those. Didn't take too long to sell, so I'm happy with that. Next up is this J. Crew schoolboy blazer. Normally I can sell these for more money, but this one did have a little hole, almost like a moth hole that I didn't realize till I got home, so I listed it lower, and it sold for $22. Here it is right here. I mean, it is small, but it's still definitely a flaw. If it was in better condition, I think I could have got closer to like $35, $40. even with it being an older style. I sold this Vineyard Vines shirt in a size 12. This was definitely Christmas vibes to me with the colors on the plaid. It sold for $27, so I do pick up Vineyard Vines. It tends to do better in the summer for the preppy kind of stuff, and then in larger sizes for the other stuff. Next up is this men's Faherty sweater. This was a really great sale at $60, so thank goodness. It was also a cotton cashmere blend. I don't find this brand very often, but it has sold pretty good for me in the past. So $60 on that. That is a great sale considering some of my other ones were really bad. Next up is a soft surrounding shirt. This was in a size large. It was a gray silk embroidered tunic. So I am passing on almost all soft surroundings these days, but the material and the style is why I decided to get this one. It sold for my full asking price of $35. So definitely happy about that. Next up is a pair of Peruvian Connection pants. These were in a women's size 18. A pair of floral straight leg, I think, pants. Speaking of, do you guys remember when I found all of that Peruvian Connection? I told you about it. Or maybe you saw it on my Instagram. One of our local thrift stores has a bunch of it again, and they have it severely priced up. $25 and $50 for everything. So that's interesting. I'm glad I got a bunch of it while I could, I suppose. Okay, and that's it. And you can see here, September 10th was the next sale, and the other ones were from September 13th. So I went 3 days without making a sale. So that was literally depressing. Let's move on to eBay. eBay was better, I feel like. I think part of it definitely had to do with me not doing my daily listings when I was out of town. I feel like I did it about 3 out of the 5 or 6 days. So that's kind of my fault. But then part of it, I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, let's just go on with this. This Free People top sold extremely quickly. It sold for $50 with a coupon, so that's $40. It was a size extra large. We the Free blue and white tie-dye, very long oversized tunic. So I was happy with that. Next up was a bundle for $70. It was 2 Eileen Fisher items, so they bundled them together and they used the coupon. So really nice. It was an Eileen Fisher size large black tunic and then an Eileen Fisher 2X black top. A 2X top I just listed yesterday afternoon. So super quick sale. Next up was a Lily Pulitzer shirt, and this name looks familiar. I feel like I follow, so I am friends with somebody on Instagram that has that same last name, but I think it's a different first name. Okay, anyway, Lily Pulitzer shirt, $25. It was the Karina Paisley floral shirt. It was a nylon, so kind of more like a stretchy swimsuit material, but that sold very quickly for $25, so I'm happy with that. Next up was an IC by Connie K jacket. This was a large or extra large brown suede type jacket, so very good for the season. I guess it's not actually suede. I should have put faux suede. Next up, I sold this cabbie top. This was a size extra large. I was getting these for like a short time because they seem to be doing better than the smaller sizes, but now like that quickly went away, and so it only sold for $14. So I'm basically not picking up anything from them. It'd have to be like something really good. Next up was a Michael Kors purse that sold for $30. This brand just doesn't sell fast for me, and it doesn't sell for that much money for the most part. Let me know if you have different experiences. That's mine. Glad to move it out. Next up, I sold this New With Tags J. Jill sweater. This was in a size extra large, and it sold for $32, so that was 20% off of my listing price of $40. I sold this Lug cosmetic case. I found a bunch of Lug travel bags or purses recently at a Goodwill. This sold for $27. This one was a blue. It was called the Trolley, and all of them were either in excellent condition or they were in like new condition. So that was nice. Next up was a Kate Spade purse that sold for $17. Praise, because I've had this forever. I feel like this came in a name brand handbag box that I got from ThredUp when I used to do that, but I haven't got one in so long because it just hasn't been worth it for me. Next up are these Birdies slippers. These were a pair of black velvet. They were the Phoebe slip-on flats. I remember because I was at a local thrift store's like big sale event, and a local reseller that I've known before, she came up and gave them to me. So that was really nice. $25 in those. They did sit for quite a while though, because I think that was like at the end of last winter. So I don't know if I would continue picking those up. Next up are these J. Crew pants that sold for $27. These were a pair of New With Tags corduroy drawstring, like straight leg pants. I figured these would sell for the fall. Nothing close to retail, but that's okay. Next up was this Catherine sweater. This was a sweater and tank top set. I don't remember if they were stitched together or not. In a size 3X, and that sold for $25.50. I sold these Anthropologie Maeve pants for $25. These were in a size 8 petite, and they had a little bit of like a flare, kind of kick flare at the bottom. So pretty good sale, very classic for fall. Next up was an Alex Evenings dress that sold for $36. Purple lace set. The Alex Evenings dresses can do pretty good, but my last couple haven't been selling that quickly, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Next up, I sold this brand Joa Brown. This is my first time selling this brand, and I would definitely say it's a bolo. It was getting lots of attention right away, and it sold in under a week for $50. So mine was a brown pullover sweatshirt in a size medium large. You can see how the tag is just like stitched on the corners. If you see stuff like that with certain brands, that might mean it's better quality or more expensive. So look it up. $50 sale, that's amazing. I had to cancel this Ming Wang jacket because I already sold it on Poshmark. So that was a fail by me. Next up was this IC by Connie K jacket in a size small. This one only sold for $16. This was my oldest item of this brand, so glad to move it. I sold this Bryn Walker jacket for $30. This was a black, almost like a nylon-ish. I guess it was polyester, but it was like not a sweater or a sweatshirt material like I usually find. But that did sell pretty quickly. I sold this Anne Fontaine shirt again. It got returned. Sold this time for $25. I haven't sold this brand hardly at all. And so I don't know how the sell-through rate is or what, but I don't know. I mean, I sold it again right after the return, so that was good. Next up is this is a purple pair of pants. They were an equestrian brand, and it was G-H-O-D-O. Godo? I don't know how you say that. No clue, but I looked up sell-through rate, and the comps were pretty good. So I went ahead and grabbed those, and they sold for $36. So that's great. Next up were a pair of Lululemon leggings for $25. Green, they were the Instill 25-inch leggings, and they asked me to send it in a plain package with no rating. I don't know why, but I did. Next up, we sold this Peruvian Connection sweater extremely quickly. This sold for $60 with 20% off. This was a gray alpaca pullover sweater, baby alpaca. I love selling the alpaca sweaters, especially in the fall, winter. They sell so good. Next up were a pair of Picolinos boots. This can be a good bolo brand for boots. These were in a size 10 or a 41, so it's good to check that their sizing compared to US sizing when you put it on the different sites. That sold for $50. Next up was a Lululemon tank top that sold for $28. This was called the Hold Tight Scoop Neck tank top, and here comes Ryan. $28. What, Ryan? Okay. Next I sold this vintage Dress Barn top. So this is definitely not a brand I would ever recommend picking up, I guess, just by brand, but by style, this thing was amazing. Very Y2K, very 90s. Lace detail, dainty details, embroidery, flowers, and it sold pretty fast for $30. So I was really happy about that because I don't feel like I'm the best with style-based pickups sometimes. Next up was a Talbot's shirt. This sold for $33. This was a red silk plus-size shirt, and it was new without tags with that little bag onto the material tag down there. So that was really exciting. I sold these Abercrombie and Fitch jeans, and they are getting returned for $25. They said they didn't fit her. Next up was a North Face belt bag. This sold for $15. I think I paid $2 for this with all of the lug purses. It was a black travel, kind of an older style, I think. So just an easy little sale there. Next up was this Lululemon hoodie that sold for $10 because it had these really bad stains that I could not get out, which was very unfortunate. Otherwise, I think I could have got more for that. Next up was a J. Crew coat that sold for $15. I've had this for quite a while. Maybe I should have relisted it now that it's fall, but it was definitely more of a vintage corduroy coat. I tried it out with kind of like 90s Y2K, but I probably just should have relisted it because it had been through a few markdowns. I think I got it like at the end of last winter. Next up was a Vince dress that sold extremely quickly. This sold for $28. This was a brown shirt dress. It was belted. It had slits in the side. I don't pick up a lot of Vince, but I felt like this was a really good style for fall. And I was right because it sold pretty quick. We are still on September 13th. This is the last thing. A pair of Abercrombie and Fitch jeans that sold for $30. These were a pair of size 27 Curve Love high-rise mom jeans. So $30 in those, and that's it for my sales. So definitely lower than normal. I don't know if there's something going on with algorithms or also me being on vacation. I think that definitely has to do with it, part of it at least somewhat. Speaking of vacation, Universal Studios was fun, but I was so depressed that I couldn't go to Disney while I was in Florida. Whenever we've gone to Orlando, we always go to Disney and then sometimes Universal, and this time it was only Universal. So that was literally depressing. We were trying to get tickets last minute for a Halloween party on the last day at Universal because we had been there a few days and it wasn't that busy. So we did everything we wanted. And I kept calling all day and seeing if anybody canceled their tickets, and nobody ever did. We walked up to the ticket gate. We could literally see like Main Street in the castle because some people said like you can get them up there if somebody canceled them, but none. So it was so sad. But we did go around to a couple of the resorts to check out. We went to Wilderness Lodge in Fort Wilderness, which was really cool to see. Ryan and I found a Mickey pretzel at Fort Wilderness, and then we went to Disney Springs and did some shopping. So I got a little bit of a Disney fix. But I told my husband, I'm like, I'm never going to Orlando again without going to Disney. That was very depressing. But anyway, that's my sales, guys. I'm glad to be back. I hope that you guys will comment down below. I can talk to you guys in the comments. Let me know how your sales have been. I have a haul video coming out for you on Sunday. It's from a few days that I went thrifting this week. And then I think next Tuesday, I had a really good trip to one store. I'm going to go through, show you how much I paid for everything, and show you current sold comps of what it can sell for. So really excited about my next couple of videos. Thank you guys so much for your support, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.